Again, this is just continuation of 10-2. So we talked about the minor arc being less than 180 degrees, and we said that you put the symbol over it and you use 2 points. You could go AB or BA. That doesn't make any difference. Kind of like line segments. Remember that? Yep. So it's kind of the same deal. Now with a major arc, it's a little bit different. Now if I wanted to talk about this blue arc, could I just call it AB?
No.
Because look, that goes A and it goes all the way to B, doesn't it?
Well, no.
Could I call it BA?
No.
No. All right, because remember, a minor arc uses 2 points. So what do you think we need? Andrew, go ahead.
You would have to specify what kind of arc. Like blue AB.
you think that would be the best way to say blue AB? I don't know, but you're right. You would have to specify it somehow, wouldn't you? You'd have to show. So what did we say during our little break that people didn't hear? What did we say? How many points are we going to use? We're going to use 3 points for a major arc. So what do you think? We're going to call it A what? DB, right. Does that make sense? Because that kind of tells you which way to go. If I just said AB, that means to go to the shortest way from A to B, right? And that would be a minor arc in this situation, wouldn't it? So the shortest way to get from A to B would be in this direction right here. If I said, you know, that could not mean from here to here, because that's the longer way to get around to it. So you would say A, DB. Now if you had other points in here, like if you had a point in here and it was E, you wouldn't use all 4 of them. You still just use 3 of them. But it wouldn't matter if you used the A or the D. You'd still use these as endpoints, the A and the B. So you could call this arc what? A, E, B, or you could call it A, D, B. And you could go backwards as well if you wanted to. You would not say this. Listen to me. Because people are going to do this. You don't say A, E, D, B. It's too much. You only use how many points for a major arc? 3. So let's put this right here. So I would call it, what do you want to call it? A what? Let's use the first one we had there, DB. It doesn't make any difference. And then you put that arc symbol over top of that. All right? You don't have to use the word major arc in front of it. Having the 3 points there, people understand that that's a major arc. Just looking at this, without even looking at the picture, I'm looking at this, and I know that arc is at least how much? 180 degrees. Okay, I know it's at least 180 degrees. Make sense? Okay, so that's a major arc. That's the difference between a minor arc and a major arc. What about a semicircle? Semicircle would be half of a circle, wouldn't it? I'll tell you what, let's pause this and draw another circle with a clean semicircle. I got what, like 6, 7 more minutes left? Okay, in class. So now let's do this. Let's do the semicircle thing, right?
Yeah, semicircle.
Now it doesn't have to be, you know, a lot of times we just draw it horizontally. It doesn't have to be. It could look like that. All right, and that cuts it off. Now let's draw some. Let's call this A. Up here we'll call this B. We'll call this C. Right there. That's what Alex just said. Okay, you didn't hear it? And I answered him. And I said, if they only give you 2 points, you don't know if you're talking about this. Now, if we just said arc AB and there was only 2 points, you'd have to assume that it's only from here to here, okay? All right, so if you didn't have this 3rd point on there, I couldn't really even refer to this arc right here. I could only refer to this arc, okay? I guess you could say major arc AB if you wanted to. You don't see that very often. No, because it depends what semicircle. What is it? Is it this one or is it this one? Well, all right. You'd have to know. All right. Let's just continue. Okay. So let's take a look. We're going to talk about the semicircle right here. So a semicircle is equal to 180 degrees, so it goes from here to here. Again, you're not just going to. What if you didn't have this B right here? Could I just say semicircle AC? No, it'd still be the same degrees. All right. It'd still be 180 degrees, but you don't know if you're talking about this arc or if you're talking about this arc right here. They're 2 completely different arcs, aren't they? They have nothing in common except for these 2 endpoints. So they're talking about 2 completely different arcs. So you have to have some point in here. So if I talked about the semicircle, you could say semicircle A, B, C. You could also go what? C, B, A. You wouldn't start with B though, would you? All right, you start with the 2 endpoints, or one of the 2 endpoints, and you'd have a point somewhere in between. Doesn't have to be dead in the middle, but it just has to be in between somewhere. And then you have the other endpoint right here. So arc ABC, okay, that would be a semicircle. All right, does that make sense? All right, that's pretty easy. All right, this isn't really about semicircles. This is about adding arcs together. We'll just do this real quick. This shouldn't take too long. if I did this? In fact, you know what? I don't even need that line right there. If I said arc AD and arc BA, or D, say that again. Let's try it again. If I say arc AD and arc DB, you could say that they do what to get AB? Watch, AD, they add together, exactly right. So you can actually add arcs together. You can do that with angles as well, can't you? So you can do the same thing with arcs. So I could say that arc AD plus arc what? DB, my arc kind of symbols are not too good, but equals what? What would that equal? AB. All right? They're getting worse and worse. All right, but anyway, you get the idea. You understand that? So you can have two arcs that actually add together to be one big arc. All right, it's kind of intuitive, I think. Okay, here we go. This is the last thing we're going to talk about here. We're going to talk about the length of an arc. So if I had a radius here and a radius here, I'm going to look at that arc. Let's do this. What I'm going to do is look at the length of the arc. All right? Now watch. What is the distance around the whole entire circle? Well, the distance. No, the actual distance is circumference, right? That's the angle. Okay, so circumference equals what? 2 pi r, or what? Pi d. Okay, so circumference is that. What if you're doing this? What if this was 130 degrees? Now, there's 360 degrees around the whole thing. What if you wanted to find just the distance from A to B? And let's say you knew the radius was 5 inches, okay? And you wanted to find the distance from right here. That's not a whole circle, isn't it? Just hang on a second. I'll be done. No, we'll be done. I said hang on a second. So watch. From A to B is a portion of the circle. It's not the whole thing, is it?
Wagner,
How much
James
of the
Shaw,
circle?
Anthony Priano, Julia Ziegler, please come up.
How much of the circle are we going around? What percentage of the circle are we going around? There's 360 altogether, right? So how do we do this? We go 130, what do you think? Over 360, good. So it's 130 over 360, what? 2, and then pi, and then r, which is 5. You're welcome. So you just chuck all that stuff in there. This is 10 pi times this, whatever that comes out to be. I don't know what it is. You can do that on your own, but we have to go. And let me give you your assignment, and then you can go. Watch. We are going, watch, 12 to 23. I'm skipping a few, so write it carefully. 26 to 41, and then 45 to 50. Looks like a lot, but these are little chunks in here. Okay, say bye.